You could walk like Jesus, you could talk like Jesus, you can even serve like Jesus, but still not know him. John chapter 14 caught me off guard this week when I read it because Jesus gives us this beautiful analogy and he starts talking and preaching to his disciples and say, like, if you know me, you know my Father also. And one of his disciples, Philip, come up to him and say, just show us the Father. Lord, show us the Father. And Jesus says to him, you have been with me this long and still do not know me. That is a crazy thing to think about, that Philip walked with Jesus in the flesh for about 3 years by this point and still did not know Jesus. That's the words that should fear all of us the most. Depart from me, I never knew you. And Philip walked with Christ, saw the miracles of Christ, heard the preachings of Christ, probably lived the same lifestyle a lot that Christ lived, but still did not know him up until this point. And eventually we understand that he did accept Christ and did believe in Christ and did all that kind of stuff. But up until this point, he was walking with Jesus in the flesh, but still did not know him. So how often do we do this in our lives? How often do we do all the things that God has commanded us to do, but not have this relationship with him? How often do we fall into the trap of simply just doing things just because we know we're supposed to do them, but not doing them because we love God and that he gave himself for us, and understanding the true sacrifice and humility that Christ had, that way he can call you his? So I encourage you this week to question yourself, do you truly know Jesus, or do you just simply know about Jesus? Because lukewarm Christianity is the most dangerous thing that's happened in America, I'd argue, ever, because the country that we live in was founded on God, and God we trust. But then the lukewarm church has become so popularized that has created this kind of new false religion of this lukewarm Christianity, but that's not biblical. Popular Christianity isn't biblical, and biblical Christianity isn't popular. So it was torn the nation apart and divided it so much. And ultimately, what we learn from Revelation 3:16 is more dangerous to be lukewarm than it is to be cold. Because if you're cold, at least you're not deceiving yourself and you're not deceiving others. So I encourage you this week to assess yourself. What is your relationship with Christ really like, and why do you do the things that you do? Because you could look like Christ, but not actually know him. And that's talked about in Matthew as well. So God bless y'all.